Welcome. I'm Alice Alicia Jones, and this is another one of my Living Consciously videos. Recently, I had a client that came in and basically said, "I want my chakras checked, and I want them balanced if there's anything wrong with them." So this was the impetus for me to do this the session that I'm doing today. Your auric field is the combination of your subtle bodies. Your subtle bodies are composed of energy sections that are attached to every chakra. I'm going to start with the root. The root has the subtle body is 3 to 6 inches away from the root chakra, and that's at your coccyx. And you can actually, by just sensitizing the top of your palm, you can rest your hand and move out very slowly and literally bump up against a communication barrier between each subtle body. This is what most people don't understand. So I just wanted to just review that just a tiny bit today. So 3 to 6 inches. Most people have it at about 3 inches. Some people, when they're when the journey of life has just been such a tragedy to them, have their subtle body completely pulled in. So literally, they walk into a room, you can't even feel them. You don't know they're there. It's almost like a ghost has entered. It's really weird, but I have witnessed people like that. And I do know that we'll just go on and go to the next subtle body. The thing about the etheric subtle body, the one attached to the root chakra, is it's the exact template of your physical body. It's the source of phantom pain. It If you lose an arm or a leg or a portion of your body, gets mangled, whatever, but yet you have pain there. You have a missing arm, but yet you feel pain in that missing arm. That's your etheric body. That's the source of phantom pain. Moving on, the next is your feeling body. I'm sorry, emotional body. Emotional body and everyone thereafter is a healthy one is about 6 inches away. So the emotional body is attached to the second chakra, the sacral chakra. The mental body is attached to the third chakra, the solar plexus, the area of personal will. Then you come to your heart. And most people can, if when they're becoming sensitized to feeling the auric field on themselves, they can feel typically up to the fourth chakra. The fourth chakra is the feeling body. All of your feelings reside in your heart. Some people will say that's the emotional body, but I consider that as part of the second chakra. The sixth chakra, I'm sorry, fifth chakra is the throat. And at this point, there is no other name. It's just throat, subtle body, brow, subtle body, crown, subtle body. Name doesn't change. So, all total, what you can do is you can feel your auric field probably to the extension of your two hands. That's about as far as you will feel. Once in a while, I have people lean out, 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 and they said, "Oh, I still feel it. I still feel it. I still feel it." So try that for yourself. You know, just see how much you can feel moving out approximately 6 inches, except for the root chakra. That you can do. I cover that in Reiki 2. If any of you out there are interested in Reiki 2, that's the feeling your subtle bodies is something that I go over. But the talk today is techniques to balance and clean your aura. Like I said, your aura is the combination of all of your subtle bodies. Each one might have a different color. Um, it's so amazing to me. Usually, if you're balanced and you go to like one of those spiritual fairs, ours is in Virginia, is run by Pathways. It's called the Pathways Expo. If you go there and you have Kirlian photography done, this was developed by a Russian scientist in 1938. Kirlian photography will take a photograph of your auric field. If you get a photograph and you are nothing but one color, let's say you're nothing but green or nothing but purple, that people think that that's a really terrific sign. My understanding is that's the issue you're working on. If it's green, you're working on your heart. You're working on opening your heart. You're working on becoming a bigger person. If it's purple, just like my lavender fields above me, if it's that color, chances are you're working on the brow, could be that, or the crown. I might see the brow as purple and the crown as white or lavender, just like the color of my walls. But other people might see it differently. So, those are the color of your aura, as shown to you through Kirlian photography, is the chakra that you're working on. If you see clear, if you see your whole visage and it's clear, that means that's a very good sign. That means that you're balanced. That's white light. And typically, you might have like little dots of different colors around your auric field. So it might give you a clue as to what else is needed for you. But the lovely thing is that you have um, the ability to see exactly what state you're in. It's a wonderful thing to be able to see this. When I put a Reiki student on the table, I will use my pendulum to first check the chakras to see if what state they're in. Uh, they're either going to go in one of three directions. They're going to go this way, back and forth. This is closed. This way, as if I'm saying yes. This is positive. But until they circle and effectively clockwise, if you're right handed, counterclockwise, if you're left handed, until they circle, or I should say, unless they circle, you are not balanced. There, there's issues that are that you need to work on. Okay, so let's look at the techniques that you can have to opening, to balancing and cleaning your aura. These are very, very simple, and chances are you're doing a lot of them and not even knowing that they have an effect on your aura. Okay. First one, obviously, I'm a Reiki teacher. It says receiving and giving Reiki treatments along with the aura smoothing and sealing. And we seal with the sign of the infinity. So that's receiving and giving Reiki treatments. The next thing is, and this might not seem like an important part, but I have had my students who say that they will look at their Reiki certificate every day just to read the principles. And that's balance number two, reviewing the Reiki principles. And I'm just going to, without going into a lot of detail, because to give you full detail on these, I would have to spend an hour. But the first principle, I will give thanks for my many blessings. Second principle, I will not worry. Third principle, I will not be angry. Fourth principle, I will do my work honestly. Fifth principle, I will be kind to all living things. Now, the principles on different from different Reiki masters might be slightly different, but they're basically that's the guideline. So just looking at and stating those principles are ex- important to cleansing your aura and balancing your aura. The next thing, and this seems like so um, uh, obvious, but maybe to some people it isn't. Having nurturing thoughts of love, kindness, and forgiveness. When I had a conversation with God that became the basis of my first book, God is the Biggest Joker of All, which title referred to the fact that the biggest joke on the planet is that we are separate from God. We are not. We are a little piece of God. And if that freaks you out, if you were raised in a fundamentalist religion and you can't accept that, then just say, okay, I'm a git, a God in training. That might help you get over the fact that you cannot in any way, shape, or form imagine yourself as a little piece of God. But one of the things that God mentioned said to me in my conversation with him was, you come to planet Earth to learn three lessons. You come here to learn how to forgive, you come to learn how to love unconditionally, you come here to learn to serve your fellow man. Where do you fit in? Obviously, if you come to learn to forgive, there's going to be something you have to forgive. And a lot of times it's a biggie. It is something that could shatter your peace of mind, shatter your ability to just move forward. But in finding a way to do that, you overcome the fear based platitudes that govern this planet. If it doesn't come from love, it comes from fear. Anything that doesn't come from love, and trust me, retribution does not come from love. Anybody who says, I need payback for this, these are that's the basis of so many of the wars. They're paying back for some atrocity that they manufactured in their ego minds. Doesn't work. Okay. Um, so loving thoughts. The next one, and this again might seem a little bit difficult to some people if they're raised in a fundamentalist religion of guilt and sin. Accepting yourself as a spiritual being having a human experience, not a human with a spirit. That is critical to you being able to move forward with your ability to gather more spiritual gifts to yourself, accepting yourself as a spiritual being. And if you accept yourself as a spiritual being, nothing is impossible. Nothing is too far out there. Nothing is going to make you feel like, well, that can't be. Nothing. The next thing, praying daily. And some people have a total misconception about prayer. Prayer is not formalized prayers. Prayers can be your thoughts of loving kindness, your thoughts of love and gratitude, the three magic words that I want you to keep foremost in your mind: love and gratitude. They will get you further than any other words on this planet. Love and gratitude for everything, no matter what is happening to you, no matter what. It's so hard to believe that those three words can make a difference, but they can. What's prayer? Your thoughts. Your thoughts are prayer. So, effectively staying positive, that's praying. Practicing visualization techniques. Practicing visualization techniques is it's a mental exercise. You do that in the quiet. You do that when you're by yourself. You do that when you shut off the phone, no distractions. You literally, even if you have convinced yourself that you only have 5 minutes, do it for 5 minutes. Work up to 15, work up to 30, work up to an hour if you can. Visualization is just allowing spirit to enter. You become what looks like to me is one of those little saucers for the children's snowmobiles, snow implements. You become it's concave. That's the part of receiving energy versus convex, which is sending energy. Your thoughts, you're sending energy. This is receiving energy. So become concave. And your visualization techniques, anything that comes into your mind is valid. I have trained myself to be able to interpret the visualizations that I get from my clients by listening to the story that I'm being given. And the story that I'm being given sometimes doesn't necessarily comes in words. It comes in a sense of, a feeling for. It could be pain. I have at times when I have to, um, there's two things that come to my mind when I say pain. When I help a client release pain by putting my hands over them, I will feel prickliness. And it sometimes It's on my palm, but sometimes it comes out through the top of my palm, and then it's released. And with my prayer of connection, I always ask the purple transformational flame of Saint Germain to come in to take all negativity, transform it into love, escort it to its next place of evolution. Saint Germain is, I just invoke his name, and he knows that the reason I invoke his name is for that purpose. So just know that you can also be um, uh, receive that uh, same technique. Meditating daily is another technique for cleansing your aura. Meditating daily. And people will say, yes, but I've meditated for years and I'm getting nothing. I don't feel like I've moved ahead. Well, somehow or other, you've put up artificial barriers, you've put up artificial blockages. So just look at what it is that you may be thinking of it for you to have that as a, like you're getting nothing from your meditation. Exercising minimum of 3 times a week. I know I go to Qigong twice a week. I try very, very hard not to miss my Qigong practice on Tuesday and Thursday. And if I miss a day, I have a makeup day on either Monday or Friday or Saturday. And I haven't been able to fit in 3 times a week. But what I do for a third and fourth time is just a walk. We're fortunate enough to live next door to a lake. And so I walk on the bike path to the lake. But that's 2 miles is my goal. 1 mile if I can't make two. Okay. Besides exercising, I've already led up to this. Walking in nature, just being outdoors. And this could be gardening. This could be, just sitting and reveling in nature and just having the ability to appreciate the natural world. It is exquisite. Paying attention to the phases of the moon, very important because the full moon is the moon of release. The new moon, the dark moon, is the moon of manifestation. So paying attention to that is important. Having a healthy diet and practicing good nutrition. I think yesterday's PBS segment on health said that 50% of the calories consumed by people in the United States are basically non-nutritional food. And by that, they listed fast food, snacks, sugar drinks. And I would absolutely believe that because one of the things that they did say was that the I know this for a fact. The number one selling food product in the United States, I don't know about the world, but in the United States, Coca-Cola. Number two is Pepsi. That's nothing but pure sugar. And if you say, oh, well, I drink diet, that's pure chemicals. So you're not winning in either way. I had a teacher once say to me, learn to love water. And if I don't love water, I put a squeeze of lemon in it. And then I absolutely love it. So find a way to just exist with water rather than a sugared drink of any type. And the 0 calorie, just read the labels, read and see what's in what you're putting into your body. You would never dream of putting sand in your carburetor or down your gas tank. But yet that's the what I feel you're doing when you eat non-nutritional foods. On where are nutritional foods? They're on the outside perimeter of your supermarket. They're not on the inside. Those are all processed foods. Outside perimeter of your supermarket are your nutritional foods. Um, okay. I just have two more things. Having respect for all life. I have been trying very hard not to get upset when and I have an invader in the house, and instead just try to get it out of the house without killing it. But there are times where the little itty bitty gnats, mm, not fans of them. I will swat at them, but respect for all life. All life has value. And the last thing, this is a physical thing, but most people are not aware of it. Once a month, take a bath. And if you say, well, I never take baths, put this item on your wash towel and a washcloth. And you take a half a cup of Epsom salts, half a cup of baking soda, couple drops of essential oil, and a little tiny bit of bath oil to kind of counteract the um, uh, the dryness of the essential oil. A fifth item I add for myself because I do take baths: bubble bath. I love bubble baths, and once a year at things, you know, Black Friday, when we go shopping, usually I've been fortunate to have my daughter here. Will or Either my daughter, my son, my daughter-in-law, when we go shopping, Bath and Body Works always has their uh, always offers specials. Buy three, get three free, and that's when I stock up on my bubble bath and give the rest. I keep three, and then I give the rest as gifts. But half a cup of Epsom salts, half a cup of baking soda, couple drops of essential oil, any one you want. Lavender is very soothing. Um, the And a couple drops of bath oil, and like I said, the bubble bath if you like it. That will work at cleansing your aura. The only thing that I do have to warn you, you might feel, I do, very wilted after that bath. So don't try to schedule anything strenuous. Don't try to have a full day's work. Don't take a bubble this in first thing in the morning. Do it last thing at night. Do it before you go to sleep, and you will feel so much better. Anyway, we're running a little bit late today, but I did want to cover all 12 of the items. And I wish you a wonderful rest of August. I won't see you until the last Friday in August because I leave tomorrow and to Pennsylvania, and then when I come home, I have a day in between, and then I leave for Nashville for my godson's baby shower, which I'm very excited to be there for that. So, anyway, uh, if you are in need of a meditation book, Own Your Power, Day by Day is the best on the market. You read 2 pages a day, and that will help you with the meditations. It's the shipping and handling is included, and I will give you a personalized message as if you order from me. It's also on Amazon. Uh, and then the last thing I wanted to mention was that if you have need of my services, my website is the Polish spelling of my name, Alicja, ALICJA, Jones.com. It has, you can, if you forget that, just go to Alice Jones Psychic and it'll pull you up to my website. And you can get the information that you need. You can see everything that I offer. I wish you the rest of a very healthy and happy summer break. And we will see you at the end of August. Thank you.